Now, I am sorry to interrupt the absolutely heated discussion that's happening in Discord, but I am going to kind of jump right in here. Let me just introduce myself. I am Jay, and this is the rest of my crew. Basically, we all kind of agree on the same things, but I feel like today will be a good stream because I am going to argue with some of them, which is going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting stream. So I welcome to Outside of Society 114. If you are watching this on Twitch, after about 20 to 30 minutes, we're probably going to get disconnected, and then we're going to be over on the YouTube channel on The Realist. There is nothing that I could do about that. That just happens. Everybody gets disconnected. They have to reconnect, and then we're back over there. But before we get into that, how is everybody doing today? Jordan and Matthew, you do not need to answer. I know how you feel. Spade, how are you?
So far, so good.
Okay, good. Don't you love that I don't have any earbuds in right now? Isn't that fantastic? That means that
you feel more comfortable, don't you?
I do. I feel back in my element, but I guess they fixed the audio issue, and I am now able to stream where the microphone does not pick up your guys' speaking. Thank you for the donations. Real quick, Monkey, Matthew, and Combat.
Well, didn't that also happen at the same time when you fixed that audio issue that you had with the that AI thing that you put in the software? Could it have been also that?
Yeah,
that did?
Background. Sorry, I got distracted. Sniffle's got a big old booty. Okay, so yeah, it happened. It happened. Look at Jordan blushing. Okay, so I don't remember. It might have happened before, but it doesn't matter. It's fixed now. I want to talk about something that I know everybody in here has a certain set of feelings for. Now, last night I was in a Discord. For the past 2 nights, I've been doing these long Discords, man. I go in hopes of editing a video, and I end up with basically half a video done and 4 hours wasted. So last night, we have a transgender back in the community, right? As hazers, we randomly get people that come in, randomly get people that leave. And it adds a little bit of a different cocktail in the mix, something to spice things up. I want to put this out there right now. I know this person is not in the chat. I mean, I could try to tag, but I doubt that this person is in here. No. I will say this, though. If you take any other person, we're going to talk about that specific situation in a moment, but if you take any person and I make fun of you, and then 20 other people make fun of you, usually that person won't last for more than 5 minutes. In any situation, you could be at a Publix, you could be at a grocery store, you could be at a club. If you talk this shit to somebody for 5 minutes, one-on-one, someone's liable to get punched in the mouth, okay? Or someone is liable to walk away. So what I found over all these years is people don't typically have thick skin. They're very sensitive. However, I will say this. It could be that this person loves attention, which is why they sit and take the abuse, or they feel a certain stronghold or a certain type of way about a situation and is very relentless and will not give up, regardless of how many people attack. The one thing you do not see, though, is this person running away. And I think that in itself is worth more than anything in the world. Because that tells you that whether it is the strength of the skin or if it's their belief system, they're stronger than people that pretend to be much stronger than that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Needs to be commended as well.
Yeah. Because it's not easy to have one person. Go ahead, Jordan.
Most conversations nowadays ends up with one person yelling over the other person, and then it becomes very emotional. It can't just be a rational discussion. It can even be an irrational discussion, but for some reason it always becomes emotional.
Yeah, Matthew's a little anxious over there. You see him moving in his chair. He's pretty angry. I see you, brother. I see you.
That wasn't
I'm
addressed to
fine. I'm
him
good.
specifically.
I'm good.
Okay, let's talk about it, right? Let's just jump right into it, okay? It would be really great to have Naomi inside of the stream, but Naomi was in there last night. You know me, after I'm sitting for a long time in her silence, I'm just going to open up a can of some shit and it's just going to go wild, right? It does not matter. And I think that's maybe why people tune in late at night, because it's like, uh-oh, Jay's on Ambien. He's either going to buy some shit. There's Naomi. He's either going to buy some shit.
What's going to happen?
Or he's going to start some shit with somebody. But I do it in a tactful manner. I don't do it aggressively. I want to say this. Last night, we have an individual by the name of Naomi. I'm not going to get too much into details. If that person wants to share their details, I'm sure that they'll share it in chat. But I have a profound level of respect for anybody that could take a beating if, in fact, not if you're a straight dude, because I expect you to be tough, right? If you're anything other than straight. Now, before you guys get your opinions in, because I'm sure you have many of them, I want to point something out. It was 2 questions that I asked Naomi that I think are very important. Number 1, we've all heard this question before, and it's very important, is define what a woman is. Just give me the definition. Now, I'm not going to put words in people's mouths, but essentially, the definition inside of the dictionary is incorrect. If that is true, if that argument that the definition is incorrect, then that goes against everything that we know, because we as society can just change definitions willy-nilly because we don't like what those definitions are. That's unacceptable. You can't just go around changing a tree to a piece of salt. You can't go around and changing a vehicle into an asparagus, right? You can't do that, because definitions is what defines something. And if you can't define what you are based off of a definition, you can't change one, you have to add one. And if you, this is very well thought out here. So if you don't want to add a word because it's going to be hard for people to pick up that word, you just can't cipher through something and say, oh, I like that one. That's what I want to be. Let me change that. That's point 1. Point 2, when you look at any flag, I'm just going to go across the panel and I want a yes or no answer. John, do you know or are you aware of a straight flag?
No.
Matthew?
Nope.
Spade?
Negative.
Yesterday, my argument was simple. If transgenders, gays, the LGBTQIA plus C5, 28, 37, whatever their numbers are, have a flag, the only thing not included on that flag is white
Straight.
people. White, straight people. I'm being very specific here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say straight people. We'll even include Latinas, blacks, whites. Anything that is straight is not part of that. If the idea is to diversify based off that flag and put a different letter, a different symbol, a different abbreviation for something, we are not now diversifying. Now we are segregating. If you can say that only straight people cannot be part of this and you must be part of something else, here's your black and white flag. We don't want a flag. We just want to be normal. What is the definition of normal? Well, that's up for debate. One could argue and say normal is the definition of what a majority of people are. That's kind of what it is. Democracy rules,
Basic
right?
math.
Right. If there's 100 people out there and 80 of those people all believe the same thing, that's the normalization. So for people to know in the transgender realm of what a straight flag is, and people that are white or people that are straight don't know what that is, shows that that's not real. That's something that's made up. That's all that I have to say there.
I guess the country flag would be the straight flag, since most of them actually hate the place they're living in. So we have that one. We'll use that one. as the straight community, as the normal community, let's say.
What is the apparently straight flag then? I don't know of it.
It's a black.
Well, the flag you're
If you
living
just
in.
Google straight flag, I really do not want to show flags in this stream right now. Like I really,
No, no, no.
really
But
Oh, I see what it is. Okay, so it's just
it's a black on top, white on
Yes.
bottom, striped flag. Now,
yes. It's
I did a
striped.
lot
Three white
of
and black.
research on this flag. I didn't Wikipedia it, right? I've done a lot of research since last night on this flag. Apparently, the flag was created in 1984. Wikipedia doesn't say that. 1984. The flag was created by a woman who was straight. She flew that outside of her house as a snarky response to somebody that was flagging a gay pride flag outside of their house. Again, not on Wikipedia. This person actually has a YouTube. This person is like 87 years old.
Jesus.
But the flag was originally created to counter their neighbors because she just wanted them to take it down. Fast forward, someone created this again. Not the it was black. Her flag is black and white, but it is white, black, white, black, white, black, and it is vertical, not landscape. So she created the first one. It's not the point. The point is that nobody knows what this flag is, right? Because we don't need a symbol to define who we are. We are who we are without any confirmation or affirmation from anybody, right? You know what you are inside. Regardless of what I tell you, you still feel that certain type of way towards yourself. I could sit there and call you fat all day. If you feel that you're skinny, then you're skinny. Why do you need society standards to confirm or affirm what you are? Why do you want that? If you don't want to be part of society, why do you want the society to conform to you?
Because it makes you feel better. It makes you feel better knowing
really?
that everyone in society.
If I call you fat, and you feel that you're skinny, and I keep calling you fat, you think that's going to make you feel better?
No, it's not. But it's you want that positive. What is it? The
Reinforcement?
The positive reinforcement that you, because you're different than everybody else, they should accept you.
Yeah, but then flip that. How many times a day, a week, a month, a year do you need to affirm that you're just straight?
Right, but you're showing it to the person today. What about the next person tomorrow? The other person.
No, I'm
It's a Me Too
saying
type
I don't
thing.
understand. No, I get that. I'm just not understanding why it's so important that everyone knows what you're doing in your bedroom.
Because they make that their whole personality. Just like when you talk to somebody who's a vegan, they're like, well, I'm a vegan. The first thing they tell you is I'm a vegan. Who cares if you're a vegan? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the weather right now. Why do you need to tell me that you're a vegan? It's the same thing with somebody who is gay, trans, or whatever. They're always going to sit there and tell you like, hey,
Okay.
I'm this and I'm that.
Okay, 50 years into the future, everything is accepted now. What are you going to talk about now?
Maybe we'll actually start talking about the weather.
Now you're part of the norm, let's say, because everything
And
is
then there'll be something
accepted.
different. Right. There'll be something different after that. Maybe they'll want to walk around like a dog.
That will never, in general society, that will never be accepted. It will never be accepted for you to redefine yourself as something that, if God, I wish you guys were there last night. Like I really do, because it's like I have to reiterate everything that was said. If I want to wake up tomorrow, okay, and I think it's a fantastic point. If I wake up tomorrow and I say, you know what, and I'm not trying to be funny right now, okay? So it may come across comedic, but I'm not. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be a fucking horse today. Right now, I'm going to be, no, bump that. I'm going to be God today. That means that everybody must acknowledge me as God. Not the God, not a God, right? The God. The one. That's what I, in my mind, feel like I am today. So does that now mean that everybody else in society must call me God? And I'm using that because I'm now replacing religion with general society. Okay. Does that mean now all those people that believe in something that and in this case, I'm here to help you out, that all of us that believe a man is a man and a woman is a woman, okay, that is the religion in this case, are we to expect the rest of society or the rest of religions to call me now God? No, that's ridiculous. It goes against everything that you know as God. So even people that don't believe know that there is some type of supernatural, superhuman, an entity that has created us. And if the idea is that you are of something else, this was one of my points last night. Regardless of what you believe, right? You have to believe we came from somewhere. Yes, we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
if we all came from somewhere, whatever that is, I think everybody in here believes in God, but let's for a moment step outside of that. If it was all created by something or someone or some entity, one could argue and say that would be perfection. No? You have created human beings that we see today. You have created something never been duplicated before, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch
Yes.
where I go with this now. Pay attention now. Stay along. Created perfection. Perfection doesn't make mistakes. Perfection is flawless. We, as human beings, create the mistakes. Cancers, carbon monoxide's in the air, things that are not of natural or normal origin. Yes, we create that. That's not created by that thing that didn't think what we would do in 200 years. So if that argument is whatever created you doesn't make mistakes, so you are who you are. And I don't think anything you feel inside is going to change that. That's like saying a schizophrenic is now normal. Well, unless 95% of the population, fuck it. Let's just say 51% of the population is schizophrenic. You're right. That's now normal. But that's not the case. A 1% cannot be normal, cannot be part of. You can be part of society, but you just don't have a word in it. You
have
can
to
try.
conform.
Right, you're going to have to conform because you're not going to convince that other 99% of people, whatever, 98% of people that you are normal but different. Then you're not normal. It's either you're normal or you're different. Yes, outside of society.
Yep. It's. I guess in your example, Jay, you're more likely to end up in an asylum. If you would walk out tomorrow and address everyone or tell everyone that you are a god, they're gonna come pick you up.
No, you're absolutely wrong.
Immediately.
Nope, you're absolutely wrong. If this was 50 years
no,
ago,
no.
if this was 50 years ago, yes, he'd be in an insane asylum. They'd have a vest on him, a straitjacket, and he'd
Me?
be bouncing off the walls. Yeah, walking
Yeah.
around that saying that you're God. That's what they would do. Today,
Oh, sure.
I could walk around saying that I'm a
No,
horse.
I think
Nobody's gonna say
no. I
anything.
disagree. I think if I walked around now and said I was God, people think I was fucking crazy.
You would probably also get a
I won't
following
have
on
the
YouTube.
same. I won't have the same repercussions as I would 50 years ago,
Right.
right?
You wouldn't
Like
be in
I
a
won't get.
straitjacket.
I will. Someone will beat me though, right? Like there's gonna be someone out there that is not gonna agree with. They are a devout Christian, whatever, devout Muslim. You're not God. You're not Allah. Yes, I am. Now, if I start lifting up discs and shit with like telekinesis, and I'm not trying to be
Maybe.
funny, but if I start doing some miraculous shit, you're gonna be like, okay, he just picked a building up and put it in his front yard. He's either a magician or he's God. Some shit isn't right. That's what people want to see, right? They want to see proof that God exists. See proof. So if you say that you're a fucking woman, then look like one. If you look like one, it's going to be very difficult for me to argue that. Oh, wow, you look like a lady. I've never walked up to... that's incorrect. I'm sorry I'm taking the whole platform, but you guys are fucking boring, and I think that I'm going to entertain more than you will. You could just do your sidebar comments, because you're not part of the normal democracy here. But if I don't know about you guys, I'll chime you in here. If you see somebody... a bull lesbian. You know what you've all seen it. I know, Maddie, you've seen it up in the club, right? I know you have. So when you see that, in your heart of hearts, try to think back to that moment. What is the first thing you think of when you see that? The first thing that goes through your mind, what is it?
Not normal.
Okay, all right, fine. Jordan, you've seen them, the Bulls.
Same.
Not normal.
That's
Spade, you're in New York. I know you probably got a neighbor that you could probably go knock on the door across from you, and that's a bull.
Oh,
but and what do you think? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? You see this person, boom, go. What do you think?
She's probably more manly than most men.
Okay, now first thing I think is that a dude or is that a girl? That's the first thing that goes through my mind. Not normalization is okay. I gotta know. What do I do? Hey, you. What's up? How's it going? Yeah, I'm good. That's a dude. Oh shit, that's a dude. Even though they got duct tape around their tits, they pressed it in, right? You are giving off the appearance that you are a dude. Now, trans feels like they have to do the society standards, right? I want to look like a woman. And I'm really referring to male to female here, but I really want to look like a woman. I want people... Okay, there's a word for that, and it's not a woman. It's not. It's called a transvestite, right? That I know it's outdated. I get it. It doesn't fit people's agendas. But in my time, people called black people colored. People called either she-males, that's a female with a dick, or a transvestite. I fucked one. I know. I got very intimate with another set of testicles. But I don't let that define who I am. So when I see something like that, I automatically think, ooh, that's a bulldog. That's in my mind. I don't judge that person for that. Just because I'm putting a label on that, I can now distinguish Christine from Chris. Because Christine, I know, has got pressed on titties, right? But they're not... That person is now trying to conform to society standards. If you want to conform to society standards, you have to accept all that society is giving you. You can't go change that. You want to be part of that, then be part of that inside, exude it outside, and don't worry about what people think. And don't sure as in fuck not try to change something in the dictionary, even though society believes that woman is this. You trying to change that says I'm outside of society. I don't like that. That's not going to work for me. It's mixed messages. It's mixed. And I don't know. I don't want any part of that bag.
I guess my follow-up question upon that is, if you truly despise society as it is now, my question would be, why fight so hard to be back in it?
To be accepted by society, which I understand. Yeah. Which I understand.
Yeah, well, the way I see it is, well, going back to the club, I go there every day. You don't let me in, I'm going to go somewhere else. I don't see the whole, I want to be, if you truly hate it and despise it.
I don't think they hate
it.
I don't think that they hate it. And I'm speaking on behalf of Naomi. I don't think Naomi hates it. It's just they don't agree with it.
Change the majority. Yeah.
Sure, but they don't agree with it. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I hate you. I don't agree with what your argument is.
Right, but that's their opinion, right? They're just trying to make you change your opinion on them about how they feel. Then
what? If you want me to do that, go back to what I was just saying. I don't know about you guys. I know Matty. I know his stance on this. If you see somebody, let's go back to your neighbor, that bull, right? You see that. Where do you go from there? Do you actually care if that is a male or a female?
I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit?
No, well...
Now, wait. Just answer the question.
I don't care. Okay, go ahead.
Just answer the question. Do you care what they actually are?
I don't care what they actually are, but I would have to figure out what I'm going to call them, whether they're a he or a she.
They introduce themselves as Christine.
Okay, so it's a she. If they said that their name was Christine,
why did you watch this? Why did you just base that off of a female?
Because every Christine that I know is a woman. I've never met a Christine.
Yeah, but there's hold on. There's dudes named Ashley, right? There are names. There are. So Christine could be with a Y instead of an I. It could be Krysten. It's a Norwegian name. It's a North Norwegian Viking name. And you automatically, because you allow society, which you're ignorant, to think that that is, and that's fine, because that's what normal people would think. Okay, but what if they just said Chris? Now, my first wife, her name was Chris. I had to call her Chrissy, because I'm not going to call somebody on a phone, be like, hey, Chris, see you in 20 minutes, you can suck my dick. People are thinking I'm gay now. No, that's my wife. I had to add letters to fix it. So what do you do in that situation?
But that's fine. Then you just turn around and be like, so what's Chris short for? Is it
Chris?
Christopher? Is it Christine?
No, it's just Chris.
Oh, okay. Because I thought, you sit there and you have the conversation. Now you're starting a dialogue with this person.
That's fine, but their name is Chris. The point I'm trying to make is
they'll tell you.
No, I disagree. The point I'm trying to make is if you are that confused, right, you're going to look for other things. You're going to look for the walk. Right. You want to look at nails. You're going to try to find something female-ish to figure out what that is. Even going back to the 90s, I got to figure out what the fuck you are. So, and it doesn't help us at all, but it helps us in a way to identify that individual. They come over for Christmas. You don't know what to get them. Do I get them a pair of lingerie, or do I get them, a butterfly knife? You don't know what. It's a bull. They probably like Harley Davidsons and leather jackets. You can't go wrong either way. You just don't know to get a small or an extra large. I digress. The point I'm trying to make, right, is if I saw someone like that and I did not know what is the telltale feature, you can't see their boobs. Their face, you don't know what that is. I don't know about you, but if I knew that, watch this, if I knew that you had a vagina, okay. That's a woman. Yes? Can we all agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even you, Maddie, we can agree. If you see some bull, you see the vagina, that's a woman.
Yeah, that's what.
So if a trans wants to be a woman, get a vagina. And I will call you a woman. But you also have to look the part. You can't have a beard with a vagina. Because now you're a circus fucking freak.
See, but that's one of the problems as well, right, Jay? You have the females that look kind of male and the males that look kind of female, but you're supposed to just sniff out what they want to be called.
I don't think anybody's expecting that. I think that's a little ridiculous. I think that's more something you see on the internet.
Yes.
I've never...
It is. 100%.
I mean, you're in New York, right? I was in Jersey. New York's going to have more than Jersey is, but I've seen the trans that I walked up to in Miami. I was like, what are you? Like, just like that. Like, I'm not even... Fuck the introductions. Before we even talk, what is in your crotch? A dick. What's up, dude? Okay, that's the end of that. He wasn't like, yeah, you got to call me a she. Fuck that noise. You just told me you got a dick, so you're a she male. Let's add another thing at the end of that she, and let's run with that then.
But over here, they'll tell you right away. Like, the most people...
Because that's not weird, but that's not what society does. You understand? Right. You want to be outside of society. We don't as cis, I fucking hate that label. My name is Jay. I am just the dude, bro. Just because you don't agree, I don't look at you and be like, ooh, you're a trans. I look at you and I say, you're a male, you're a female. Just like you look at me. How do you know that I'm straight? Unless I find out what you are. So don't just judge me based off of a picture and be like, oh, that's a cis. What do we do when we see a picture of something that we don't know what it is? We don't say that's a trans. That will never come out of our mouths. I could tell you. In my late nights and after party or whatever, I say, ooh, that's a man. Even though it looks like a woman, we'll say that's a man. That's a woman. We don't ever say that's got to be a transgender. Never. Never has that come out of my mouth. If it looks like a man, but it also looks like a woman, I'd be like, that's a man, bro. Wait, that might be a woman. We don't say that's a transgender. Because that is some made up shit in your fucking mind. It's either you're this or you're that. There's nothing in between.
Well, that's according to them, there is. There
isn't, though.
Right. Which is another problem.
Look at animals, right?
Altering definitions, sex, and the other thing. That's the.
I'm willing to separate those. I am willing to separate sex and gender. Sure.
But
Fine.
there was never a separation between them. If you go back, it used to be the same thing, sex and gender. It's only because that community changed the meaning of gender. They separated it. It used to be the same thing, sex and gender.
Right, and I'm willing to take that 1% saying you got to separate those things. Fine. That's fine. I'm still going to call you a male. Right? But if you still want to separate them, so if we're separating sex and gender, right? Let's just titillate for a moment. I am born a male, right? That is my sex. I feel like a male. Does that make me, watch this now, male? So if I'm born a male and as a sex, but my gender is female, am I MF? Or we don't want to do that?
Cis, right?
Yeah, cis male.
Yeah, that would make
No,
you
you're
cis.
not. You're not getting what I'm saying. If we're separating those two, they're two different, right? So those are two different labels. Yes.
So you're taking it literal, like on a.
Yes,
form,
I am
you have to-
literally
you have to-
taking
you have
it
to sex
literally.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
What if I don't want to be either of those?
There's
Well,
another
if you're
section
just
now.
fluid.
I don't want to have any sex and I don't want to have any gender. Then what? I'm non-binary.
Yep.
Okay, but now I'm just lying to myself because I create X amount of hormones, right? So I'm something.
Yes.
I am here. I am not non-binary.
But you have the choice to alter your own reality.
No, you don't have that choice. You don't. You are who you are, man. Popeye said it best.
Yeah.
I am what I am.
You don't get to change that. You could try,
Force that.
but I can't. Without physically doing something like removing my testicles, I will always be a man.
And then you still have the discussion, right? Because you can remove your genitals, but in society, when you walk around, your facial features most of the people will address you as he,
Sure,
because you still have.
but
the
I can't be
build of a
mad at
man, you still-
society for that because society is the norm.
Then
Yeah.
what you're saying would negate about. Well, you would only have two colors in that flag. Trans male, trans female, because all the rest shouldn't exist. Fluid and whatever the other 80 things are, they're nonsensical.
Look, just because
I am gender fluid, so one minute I'm a man, and then I feel nothing, and then I feel like I'm a female. Try to address me the correct way.
I'll be the oddball out. Sometimes I have gay dreams. Right? Hear me out. Sometimes I have dreams. There's a dude in my butt. I don't know what's happening. I wake up, I'm uncomfortable. And then I want to go back to sleep because I want to figure out what happens. And then the dream is gone. Just like that, it eluded me. Does that mean tomorrow I wake up and I'm gender fluid because I had a penis in my butt? No.
No, you're bi-curious now.
No, I'm not. That's my mind doing some fruitful shit, right? Just making up its own thing, right?
It's
But I
your
know in my
mind,
heart
right?
of hearts, right? You have this and you have this. Forget your crotch. You have this and you're this. Think with your mind or you think with your heart. Yes?
Right.
Yeah,
What does your
100% agree.
heart tell you what you are or tell you what that is?
They'll tell you that that's
That it's a
You
female
call it a
heart?
flag.
Ooh.
well, everyone's going to think differently depending on their situation. If you're a woman who thinks that they're a man, your heart is going to tell you, "Hey, I'm a man," while as your head
That's-
is telling you, "Hey, I'm a female because I have a female body."
That
That's
first
what's
part
going
you
in.
just said is not, that can be implemented on a grand scale in society. If you have to change, there has to be a basic set of rules, and if you have to adapt to every single individual that lives in society,
Chaos.
you don't have a society anymore.
Oh, that's
That's
anarchy.
impossible. No, I wouldn't call it anarchy.
Yeah, I
It's
wouldn't
just-
call it anarchy. It's just not.
It's not feasible. You can't
Anarchy is
accommodate
everybody does
every
what
single
everybody
person
wants
that
to do,
lives
right?
in it. You have to
So you could sit there, okay, you could sit there and say, you know what, on a form or anywhere else, just make it normal that, you know what, you're either male, female, or other, or pick another word so that
There
way
is
people-
no other, though.
I understand that,
You
but if
can't,
people are
even
making
when
a
it comes
deal
to
about it-
animals, there is no other. Yeah,
Right.
you do have certain animals certain
I'd rather not
lizards,
say them.
certain snakes that do have that can flip, right? And procreate for whatever reason.
The
Worms.
asexual ones, yeah.
Okay, fine.
But there's a purpose.
But it's either male or it's female. There's nothing in between. There's nothing. The only thing that's creating something in between is the same thing that's creating cancers. Is people. You can't decide that. Fuck biology. It's either this or that. There's nothing in between.
But that's also a thing. That's what that community uses. Those 0.01% of things that are different or things that are not the way most of nature is. They're going to use that and they're going to say, see, it is normal because it happens. Hermaphrodite, it happens. But in nature, so it's normal. No, it's not.
In nature, it has a purpose and there is no feelings involved.
That's right.
It does that to survive.
So what's the purpose for a hermaphrodite? Hold on. Wait, you're saying that there's a purpose. Fine. Bring up what Matthew just said. Somebody is born a hermaphrodite. They have both. They have, everything.
Both. You usually have balls and female organs or vaginas and male organs. But
okay, so you're mixed up. You're literally like an
call you an intersex. It's an intersex.
Sure.
Okay.
So then that's the thing then. So there you go.
No, but intersex usually does not want to be part. Yeah, I'm about ready to pull this person into here. Intersex does not want to be a part of transgender.
They want to be one or the other.
No, they want to. Yes, they want to be. I don't know how to explain that one. That's. I got nothing. That sucks. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the ideology of transgenderism. I just want to point this out. The definition of normal. This is the definition. Conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected. So in their world, they might be normal, right? In their world. But in our world, where a majority of us are, we're normal, you're not.
Again with the semantics.
Wow.
Yeah, but that kind of explains why you are drawn to said community, right? Because if you don't fit with the other, men are tribe creatures. So if we don't fit in that one, we'll find somewhere else a community where we fit in. So to each their own, I guess. But then it goes back to the question with if appearances are not what they seem. After a while, if one of us would be that way, and every single day you have to talk to people and they ask you 20 times, what are you? Wouldn't you eventually cave and pick one so your life is easier?
But then you have to...
Just from a practical standpoint.
But you have to appear like that in order to be accepted as such. And someone wouldn't ask you that if you appeared as that.
Right. I can't say that I'm bold.
I asked you in the beginning, you see a bull across the street from you. Do you ask them what they are? No. None of you said that. So why are we walking up to people?
You think it for a split second.
Sure.
The fact that,
well, but that's not what you guys said, right? None of your answers were as what that is. You said that's not normal, right? And then Spade was like, then I asked the name. But either way, none of you answered what I said. You just whether they're normal or not. I'm more concerned with whatever the fuck you think you are. Inform me. I need to get some knowledge on this. You know, how did you get your titties in your asshole? Like, I want more information. But you cannot expect people, right? I cannot expect people that think that me and them are friends, that we're going to talk all the time. I cannot expect that because it's not realistic. It's also not realistic for you to walk into a men's bathroom looking like a woman. Actually, I'll take that back. It's not realistic for you to look like a man walk into a woman's bathroom. I think if you do the opposite, a woman walks into a man, all of us here knows Blair White, right? Blair White walks next to me, next to a urinal, stands up and pisses. I'm more turned on, and I want to talk to you. We're gonna figure some things out, me and you. I'm not gonna punch you in your face. Not being funny, because you're attractive. I could shimmy your jam around. I'll figure it out.
I think I would laugh, to be honest with you, if I was
Wow.
sitting there in the urinal just pissing, and then all of a sudden, if Blair White showed up and you're
Are
like,
you looking
"Oh,
over? Because I don't know about you. When I stand next to urinals, we're going to get sidetracked here. I look at your junk. I don't give a fuck where we are. I'm always the guy peeping. You know, I always do that. Don't piss next to me in the bathroom. I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
hey.
you're bound to look, right? If it looks completely female and it's standing up and peeing next to you.
Oh, no, I'm saying even a dude.
You're bound to look over and go.
Bro, I go to the gym to work out. I'm checking out dicks while I'm pissing.
Then I'm
You have to
telling
realize
then
I'm
you might-
also
you
the
might
same
be-
dude that when I walk up to you in real life, I look at your crotch. I don't care what you're wearing. You
So
know,
maybe you are bi-curious. Maybe you
no,
are.
I'm not. No, I'm not. No,
Confidence thing.
But
That's
you just said
confidence
you
thing.
just said you look at dudes like that. So then, what does that mean?
I don't look at dudes like I want it in my throat.
Right, but
It's
why
a-
are you so curious about what the other person has?
Because I
Oh.
think, nah, bro, get the fuck out of here. No, dude, because I look at someone's crotch does not dictate what I want. I just like crotches. I like penises. I like vaginas. I like assholes and tits. That doesn't mean I want one in my mouth.
I think that's
You
more
sexualize it,
confidence
not
you
me.
just don't want to admit that, though. There's a difference. Maybe you do, because why else would you be so interested about it if you're not?
Why are you not? See, now I know that I'm not normal. I get that, but that doesn't make me a gay person. That doesn't.
No.
Because let me get this right. So when you look at somebody, we'll spiral this back into transgenderism. But if you look at somebody, Spade, when you walk down the street and it's a woman, what's the first thing you look at?
Her tits,
Why?
because I like tits and I want to see her tits.
You're telling me you see a woman walk out of a school, she's a janitor, and she's got a full outfit on. The first thing you look at is her tits?
If she's a woman, yes, I would check it up and down. Yeah.
You have a crossing
supposed
guard
to do
that's
that?
97 years old. The first thing you look at is her tits?
Yes. Yes, because they got some long droopy.
You want to
titties.
call me abnormal?
How am I abnormal though? I'm not abnormal.
You're looking at a
I'm a-
97-year-old's fun bags.
But I'm a cis male, right? I'm not
No,
looking
yeah,
at
yeah, but
Uh,
even as a cis male, how about you look at the face? You look at the
Yeah.
and then you
Right?
look at
I don't know about you. The first thing I'm looking at, you could have titties, right? The first thing I'm looking at is that a female?
That's
Because there
too
could be
old,
some
that's
dudes
too
that's
young.
got titties,
Yeah, that's true too.
right? But the first thing I look at, watch this, is the crotch. That's the first thing I look at because I can't go wrong there. You cannot go wrong. You got a bulge. You're a dude. What's up, dude? I probably know the size of your dick right now versus you knowing the size of your dick right now. Right? You got to feel down. Is it shrunken in? I already know. You look a little chilly. Need a jacket? I got you. I'm not shivering, but your dick is. So,
You always know.
but I'm not the one that's sexualizing that. You sexualize that. But does that make me normal? No, that makes me different. I don't know about abnormal. Abnormal to me is going the
cucumber?
extreme other way.
What's
Can I
the
address something?
extreme other way? Like,
Yeah, you could address something. Extreme other way. Like,
Comment from Naomi. No, but people who are transphobes might be more inclined to start shit. Why do you think that is? If you would have
easy
kept
prey.
if you would have kept to the background and done what you want to do, whatever, you can be a lampshade for all I care. You can be as normal as you want. Do it on your time. Do it privately. Do not
But that's
force
the
me.
problem, Matthew. They don't want to be in the corner,
No, but
hiding from
then they get
everyone.
offended if they keep pushing it on people, and then they get offended and they go into the victim role because people push back.
in all fairness, the 3 hours I spoke to Naomi last night, I didn't hear any victim mode. None. None.
Because not everyone is a victim. Some people want to fight for it and be
No,
that
no
person.
victimhood at all. None.
Oh, this morning was something else then.
I don't. To be honest with you, even the guys that I find that are gay or the lesbians that I know and the trans that I've seen, never have I ever had a conversation with them or them saying that they're pushing their agenda to anything. They just want to be left alone and do their thing, and that's it. I've never seen anybody come up to and be like, "Hey, because I'm gay, this, and that." I've personally never seen that, and I've never heard it. And I can literally go outside and probably throw a rock, and the first house I hit probably has one of those in there. I've gone into apartments where there are transsexuals in there. And like the other day in Discord, when I was asking, I was like, so what are they? If they're transsexual, but their partner or is a full-on female, are they still doing, straight sex? Or are they looking at it as they're lesbians? Or what is it? Like, I legitly asked that question because I wasn't sure. Because it's like, what is it? If you're a dude transitioning to a woman and your girlfriend is a full-on female, then are you not doing straight sex? I mean, isn't that what it is?
I'm conflicted because it's like, I don't think you get to be a woman if you're born a man. I think you're either a man or a woman. Right. I feel very adamant about that because it's demotivating to women, right? When you start changing the definition, then whatever, it doesn't fit what everything I've known. At the same time, I feel that you can't be a trans. It's either you're this or you're that. So I am very conflicted in that regard. I don't think you should have the label as a woman. I also don't think you could be a trans woman for 20 years. It's either you're a man or you're a woman.
No, that label would only exist for the transition period.
People that are taking hormones that are en route to be this. But at the same time, once you become that, you can't become a woman. Because then what does that do for women? You're changing the definition now.
I like the definition.
Because a woman is an adult female. A female is a woman that has essentially ovaries. Now, when someone gets a hysterectomy, right, that does not take away that they're not a woman anymore. They're still a woman because it's what you're originated as, what you're born as, right, that can reproduce. If a man gets his balls removed because testicular cancer, it doesn't make him any less of a man. He just, well, I guess technically yes, because he has less skin, less balls, but he's still a man. It's a very hard thing. I don't have an answer for that.
So then what do you do on an ID, right? I'm a police officer. I pull you over. Your ID says that you're male, but I'm clearly looking at someone who looks like a female.
No, when I was a cop, I never had that situation. I mean, that never happened, but I guess at that point, you would have to
have the conversation, right? You would have to have a conversation.
Trust that because you don't appear that way on your identification.
It's like the picture, but that's the thing though, right? The picture on the ID shows you as a woman, but it says under sex, it doesn't say male, it says female. I mean, sorry, it doesn't say female, it says male. So what do you do at that point? You're looking at that person and be like, oh, so you're trans. Okay, cool.
Then that's a cross-dresser. That's how I would see it. If I'm pulling you over, I need to know what you are, though, because I need to call out that gender to frisk you. So what are you? Now, if you change it on the spot and be like, that says male, but I'm a female.
But see, what do you do with that? Okay, so in that situation, you're a cop, right? What are you going to do? You're going to call?
I'm going by what that identification says. I don't give a fuck what you're telling me.
Got it. Okay.
What that government issue, what the government recognizes you as, just like when you go to jail. When you go to jail, you go by what you were assigned to at birth.
So, but then
but there have been times where they've flipped.
That's New York that does. That's New York that changes where they're going.
So you're gonna get a female cop. What about her rights? She has to pat down a man because he still has the junk in the trunk.
No, they won't do it. No, they won't do it. It's
because
exactly
they claim they're female,
no,
so you need a female officer to pat
Matthew,
them down.
you didn't understand. You didn't understand. It's exactly what Jay said. If you are a male, regardless of whether you're dressed up as a woman, they're going to call a male cop to do it. They're not going to call a female.
I'm saying you have something that pretends to be female, looks like female, but it says, "Oh no, and it says I'm female, but it's actually a male. It's not transitioned at all." And then you're gonna get a female officer because it claims it's female. You have to get a female officer to pat down a male with everything included.
The first thing a cop would tell you is there anything in there that can hurt me? Whenever they pat you down or they check your pockets or anything like that,
Right.
they're going to say, is there, at least in New York they do, is there anything that I should know about? Or is there anything that you have that can hurt me? They say that. At that point, if you have a dick and you're a chick and you have a dick and you don't tell them, you just broke the law and they could do and charge you anything they want at that point.
You didn't listen to what I said. What about the rights of that female officer?
I just told you the rights. They can book you for anything. She could turn around and be like, now I'm scarred. Now I'm scarred. And now I have to take medical leave from work because what I thought was a female that I was patting down is actually a male. I didn't sign up for this. You understand? That's what they're going to do. At least in New York, that's how they're going to think about it.
So you're infringing on their rights.
Yeah. And that's why they could arrest you because you lied.
But it's normal to do that.
It's not normal. Guys, we're talking about a 1 percentile of the world's population.
How often is that going to happen to you? You've been on the force for 20 years. Some people haven't even pulled out their gun.
I've never even pulled over a gay person, so
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the chances of that happening, you might as well go play the lotto that night.
Think about how lucky you got to be a hazer to have one among us. Right? Like, that's fascinating, bro. If there's 1% of the world, you can say that we are truly a diverse group of people.
That's it.
Yep.
That's a fact right there.
1%. I mean, even 1% of 7 billion is, 70 million? Right. Yeah, isn't it 70 million? 7 million. 10% would be 7 billion would be 700 million.
1 million.
1% would be 70 million. 70 million.
Still a lot of people, but they're spread out.
Exactly. They're spread out throughout the whole world. What are the chances?
That's people that are probably going through paperwork, right? There's probably trenders that are not part of that. So it might be 4%. I can tell you this. It's not 50%. I can tell you that much.
No, not even close. Not even close.
So agree, Bree. Agree. I think that's really important because with that conversation that was last night, I think it was very cordial. It was very, that person was trying to push their agenda but it wasn't in a regard to my way is the right way. This is just what I believe.
Right. That's their opinion. But
I just think it's huge because if you take that is to me abnormal, and that person has thicker skin than someone that is a straight male. That's not what you see on the internet. It's not what you see. They're getting defensive, they're arguing, they're snapping. That's all an act, bro. It's an act.
Right. They're all pretending. On the internet, you could pretend to be anything you want. And now you just want to bring it into your real life. That's all it is. Just because you're an internet tough guy, you sit there and you can threaten people online doesn't mean that if you're on the street, nobody's going to beat you up if you get into a fight. You're portraying a character. That's all it is.
And I think that's a huge problem.
It is.
That's
it's a false sense of security
that gets portrayed a lot of times, that you can't ask any question, and if you are, so let's say you're not that knowledgeable about what is going on, you can make an honest mistake, and then you're immediately labeled as transphobic or hateful, and that's another issue. People are just people. Not everything is with the intent to be hurtful or hateful.
Right. Okay. And to answer Bree, when you said normally the people who belong to that party are yelling and screaming online, but that's only the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
It's not always all of them.
Even less than that. I'd say
But okay, what's 1% of the 7 million? You understand what I'm saying?
70,000.
Exactly. So those 70,000 spread all around, it doesn't matter. There's such a small. That's like saying, oh, we found a a KKK place, and there's so many of them around. Yeah, but they're just sitting in one location. That's it. That doesn't necessarily mean that the whole town is like that, right?
No.
It's all a matter of perception of where everyone is. You can't sit there and just because the loudest ones are making an issue, think that all of them are doing that. They're not. Just like Ben Shapiro, he's very loud, right? But that doesn't mean that every Republican is like him, right?
Sure.
Just because AOC is loud doesn't mean that every Democrat is like her. That's just the 1% of the 1%. We're just going lower and lower.
That's the biggest problem nowadays. Regardless of what the subject is conversation can be held. It automatically goes to screaming. Regardless, left or right, it goes to screaming.
Screaming,
because I'm louder, I'm right.
Or a guilt card, or you're the baddie card, or the
victim,
or whatever gets pulled, and then it ends a normal conversation. If you cannot get a straight answer out of somebody, there's no normal conversation or debate.
Correct.
It's not honesty. If it's always a runaround and it's always but this and but that and but no. There's certain things that are just yes and no. You give an honest, straight answer, you get an honest, straight conversation. If not, but then you get but you're fishing, and you want me to, and okay, then we're done.
You're
I can have a conversation because I'm gonna be the one holding the short end of the stick in current society because you're the one that bashed. No, I just asked a question, wanted an honest opinion or an honest answer. Never got it. Just confirm what I think.
I guess overall, I'm not really that. I've never been confronted with these issues, and I like to think I won't put myself in situations where I encounter that. It's not in my life. It's just not.
It's not even in. And again, when you see it, it makes it seem like it's more prevalent because we do have Naomi, but and then we had Snacksy. So you've had people that are that way, so it seems more normal or more relevant than what it actually is. So you might go your whole life. Well, I don't know. If you come to the States, you will 100. Come down to Miami with me, down at South Beach.
You'll at least see one.
You'll see more down there.
It's just, it's not in my life in the sense of I don't have any friends like that. So do I really have to form an opinion about it? Kids? Yes. Nope. Not accepting that. All the rest of it, same with the abortion talk. It's not in my life. I honestly if it's not directly related to me.
See, but that's where you already lost me. Kids? No. Stay off of kids.
Yep. Same.
That 100%.
No chemicals. No, you're going to dress like one. Oh, you're going to... No. Stay off of the kids. When they're 18, they want to decide what they want to do. They can do everything they want to do. They can cut pieces off, put new pieces on, dress whatever way they want. But as long as they're kids, and I'm willing to bet that 60 to 70% never does anything because it's a phase and they grow out of it.
Of course. How many people that were growing up wanted to be a cowboy? Not a single parent. Well, I guess we're going to a ranch and drop them off. You're going to cattle some cows. I don't know. That's not a real thing. It doesn't happen. You just don't listen to a child. It doesn't know what it wants yet. It doesn't even have a fully formed brain to make large-scale decisions.
But even at 18 years old, you don't have a fully formed brain, right? They say that the brain keeps growing until you're like, what, 26 or some shit?
So
sure,
but 18 is a good starting point, though. Right,
Yeah,
but 18 is a good starting point because if I'm old enough to vote, if I'm old enough to choose to go to the service and put my life for the country and everything like that, then I have the right
Can have
to
a
pick
drink.
whether I want to be male or female, cut things off, attach things on, whatever the case is. You should
But you
have
can't
that.
smoke or drink.
Well, apparently it's
That's a
even more.
different thing.
60%.
That's a whole other subject. But yeah, wait until you're 18. Why? What is the need to do it from the age of 12? Why?
Well,
At the
there's
age of
probably
8?
something to do with the hormones. The faster you start that, I don't know. It's not something I'm very.
Yeah, and there's no way.
Interested
It's just it doesn't just revert to what it was before if you stop taking it after you've taken it for a while. It does irreparable damage. It changes the way your bone structure is, the way your body grows. So that's
I guess it comes back to, regardless of what the medicine does, I truly believe you're not capable enough to make that decision at that age.
Agreed.
That's it. It has
They
nothing
don't
to
even
do
know what the
with-
hell they want to wear in the morning when they wake
Yeah.
up. Hell, I don't even know what I want to wear in the morning
Listen,
when I wake up.
if they can think of what they want to be when they grow up, like a job, you definitely are not capable to choose your
Right.
your sexuality or your
But
gender.
we've reached the point where a girl that goes like, I wonder what this playing with cars is that boys always do, or with Legos or whatever. Oh, I want to try and see what's what. Oh, she's been playing with
Right.
cars for 2 days. Let's get her to a psychiatrist, and we'll start a transition. The same for a boy. Oh, why are those girls always playing with the pots and the pans and on a plastic stove? And why are they playing with dolls and stuff? If a boy goes like, I want to see what's what and play with a doll for a day or two, what's wrong with that? It's just that this isn't for me. But if you see that now, parents go in overdrive and
Kind of depending on the parents, I think. No?
Do you let do you let an 8-year-old decide what he wants to do?
Right.
No.
So look at for instance, right? Calvin Klein. We've all heard of Calvin Klein, right? When he was growing up and he said that he wanted to create clothing or anything like that, he wanted to design clothes. Do you think everybody thought that he should become a woman because he wants to design clothes? No.
Probably not. But the same with the guy that plays with the pots and pans, right?
Yeah. Does he want to be Susie Homemaker, or maybe he wants to be a chef?
Yeah, I mean, the best chefs in the world are male. There's no debate about them.
100%.
But there's kind of a social expectation of that. That's like, oh, any good barber or any good hairdresser will probably be gay. If it's a female hairdresser, they'd rather go to the gay guy than the straight guy.
Oh, yeah. Female hairdresser. Yeah, sure.
Like the fashion designers, I'm willing to bet a lot of them aren't even gay. It's just for outward appearance because a good fashion designer or a good artist has to have that gay or that separate kind of thing to be special, to be good. So that's a thing we do as well as a society.
Yeah, because we automatically assume that because it's the opposite of what we would do, it's the wrong way or it's the different way.
But even that isn't really bad. Assuming it and then, I was wrong, and then not even
because you man up to the mistake.
Yourself.
Right.
Yeah, there's not.
But that's okay. That's okay. But then there are other people who are like, no, like, the 1% that complain that will say that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, but I can't prevent myself from making mistakes. Then I won't do anything.
But you learn from the mistake, though. You learn
only because I'm making it.
Right.
If
well,
you're,
look
but I'm not allowed
day,
to make it. I'm not allowed to make it.
Right. But look at 100 years ago, 200 years ago, right? When you went to go see a play, you had all men in the play. There was no women actors. They were all men. So what did you have to do? You had to have a man dress up as a woman. And if there was something where they were kissing or something like that, did you automatically think that they were gay?
Well, I wasn't around back then, but sure. Yeah.
But would you think that they're gay? An actor, a guy, you know, you're getting paid thousands, millions of dollars for what you're doing. Are you gay because you went and you made out with somebody on TV? No, that was your job. You had to make believe that you were gay. That's your qualifications. To make people think of what you're doing is realistic. In the porn industry, not every male performer is gay. They do it for the paycheck.
The problem with the example that you just gave kind of proves it, that we need to adapt. Because you said, well, 50, 100 years ago, it was all male cast, and they were playing a woman, and that was considered normal.
Time, you look at women, right? Women, aside from Jennifer Aniston, right? You'd be hard pressed to find an actress in the 90s that acts today. So, I mean, we're talking about man versus woman at this point. We are no longer talking about transgenders. We have now moved on to something else. You guys have to stay focused. I've been letting you ride off this little train for a little bit, but you're digressing, right? What does that got to do with transgenders? How long have transgenders been in the open eye?
Again,
open eye? Public?
The socially transitioning allows people to explore that, to decide whether it's right for them or not. But again, if it's on the down low, maybe, but it's being pushed everywhere. Schools, society, parents, social media, everywhere. Those kids, the decision gets taken out of their hands almost.
Well, I think we should all agree that kids shouldn't be on social media.
Yep.
That's
but then the social media influences the parents.
Say again?
But then the social media also influences those parents, or are a reason why. Oh, because if our kid is, if he's trans, he's special. Oh, we can get clout for that. My kid is special. Well,
okay, but that says more about the parents than if you as an adult are getting influenced about social media. Ooh.
Social media is destroying today, right? This whole thing with transgender and online and posting pictures and 10-year-old boys doing makeup like a girl. The only thing you could do is stay away from it and not acknowledge it. But the problem is most people will acknowledge that, thus encouraging it.
And then it will become the norm.
I don't know about that.
Oh, unless, like Jay said, it's 51 or 60 or 70 or 80% of the people. Then it's the norm.
And if that's the case, we're going to have a hard time populating this earth.
Oh, yeah. We're
going to have a real hard time keeping the human race alive if it becomes 50.
We're going extinct. That's a fact.
Your selections are going to become extremely slim.
Maybe that was always the design.
A lot of pregnant male-looking people. Well, that maybe that's also an option.
You know what? Maybe that's a good thing, though. It's like being selective. No, at that point, it just becomes more and more selective and harder to procreate things that shouldn't be procreated.
You're saying Darwin?
Yeah.
It'll breed itself out. Maybe. But the problem is the damage that it does along the way.
Wait, where do you guys see Bree typing in chat? I don't see Bree typing in chat. Why are people saying bless you, Bree? What?
Oh, no, somebody sneezed before. I said bless.
Oh, I was going to say, where's Bree sneezing? She's right, I sneezed in chat? I sneezed. Bless you. What the fuck? It's like a mob mentality.
I don't think it was Bree that was sneezing. It might have been, was Sniffle sneezing, Jorn?
Probably. Could be.
Yeah.
I got the noise cancel stuff on. Didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I kind of wish you guys were there last night. It was a very fascinating conversation. Obviously, it was 10 people or 8 people versus 1, but
okay, let's flip it, right? If 8 people are telling you that you're wrong, are you wrong? Now flip it and think of
Well,
it in a
whoa,
wide.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Look at it. Look at it in a wider scale, right?
Dude,
If
that doesn't work
3/4
for
of the
history.
world, what?
That doesn't work
That's
for
not a
history.
general.
There's,
That's you
there's,
putting
there's,
eight of one people in a room, sticking one of the other people in there, and going, "Oh, bash them." No, that's not what normalcy or the general idea of what is normal is about. That's you
Yeah.
creating a situation where it's bound to go the other way.
Yeah, because the guy that officially claimed that the Earth was round was killed because of his beliefs. So if you're going with, well, the majority thinks this, we're that doesn't always pan out. The majority is also
You're
very
right.
stupid.
I didn't think of it that way. I didn't think of it that way. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
In this case, it proves your point.
So basically, what we're saying is, don't listen to celebrities or anybody else. Just do what you want to do and wait until you're 18 years old.
Can you name any famous celebrities that are transgender? Oh wait.
Oh, no.
Kids.
You have to.
The actor,
Elliot Page.
Alan.
Euphoria.
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of.
And they're famous
only
as Elliot Page?
Well, yes. I don't. No. Alan.
Even Elliot
Alan.
Page is not as famous as what Jay's definition of famous is.
No, I would say fine. She did Juno. Give me something she did as a boy. I'll wait. Without looking it up.
Nothing.
She did the
Nothing.
TV show. She did the TV show where she played a boy.
But no. But that was already running. She had
right,
the
but she
part,
started off
and
as
it
a
recut-
no. Wait, hold on. She started off as a woman on that show, and then she
Yeah.
transitions into being a male.
Okay.
And even in the show,
Yes, and they kept her on, but she didn't get the part as a dude.
Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. Okay, fine. Okay.
She hasn't had.
Can you imagine if
Or
Denzel
whatever.
Washington came out as a transgender tomorrow and is now as Danielle?
Anyhow.
Yeah, Washington.
Danielle Washington.
Right.
Nice. Danny Washington.
Yeah, we already named that person, Combat. You're just 10 minutes behind. Yeah, but as Elliot Page, you don't see shit. And when you see that person, you think of Juno.
Yep, that's true.
Right.
Or Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Right?
Davina.
Would be one.
You want to destroy your career overnight? Go for it. I mean, that's
Well,
literally
listen.
what you do.
With all the money that he has, do you really think he really care at that point? He could literally die. His kids could have the money, and their kids can still have
You'll
it.
be the hot topic for the next month, and then after that, bye.
It dies down.
See ya.
Daisy the Rock Johnson.
I like it.
Daisy the Rock Johnson. Okay.
Daisy the Cock Johnson.
Well,
But she can't be the Rock anymore.
It's
She
gonna
has
be
to be like
confusing.
Daisy the Flower Johnson. She
I
can't
like
be a Rock anymore.
Daisy the Flower.
What's the female thing of a rock?
There's
You
no
know,
female
that's-
version of a rock. Water, sand. There you go. Sand. Daisy
Rockette?
Sand Johnson.
You can make a rocket.
She's gonna be dancing, kicking her legs up in the air. Now I got that stuck in my head. Oh,
Well, he's already been in the tutu, so you can perfectly imagine what that would look like. So.
if you look at his oldest daughter, she looks just like him with long hair
Ooh.
and shorter and shorter. You could see Rock is her father
built the same.
just by looking at her.
That's
Not
kind of
built the
rough.
same, I hope.
What the hell was her name? Ava, I think.
Same build.
Nah, she's nowhere near the same build.
Oh, that's good.
So she looks like in the same jawline and everything, or. Ooh.
You gotta look it up. Look it up. Simone Johnson or some shit like that, whatever her name was. But yeah, But you know what? That goes to show you that, she would make a good dude, because if The Rock is supposedly a good looking dude, if she wants to transition into being a dude, all she has to do is just cut her hair.
Options.
That's
Always
not,
good to have them.
not
That's
weird
it.
at all. You're thinking of it that way. No, it's perfectly.
If it works both ways, right? If a man could become a woman could become a man, right? That's what they're saying, right? So you got to look at it from both
But I,
perspectives.
yeah, but I
So
don't
usually
even
it's the
believe
other
in
way
that
around.
premise.
I didn't say
how
you had
many
to believe in it. I'm just saying
how many females do you see wanting to be a man? Not that many. It's usually the other way around.
So the question lies, why? Why are there so many men who want to be females as opposed to so many
Why?
women who want to
And
be
then
men?
you get into something else that people have very different opinions and are very vocal
She's
about.
ugly,
They were
bro.
born with it?
Dog. She is ugly as fuck.
See? Tell me she doesn't look like The Rock with long hair.
Oh my god, bro. Yo.
Oh, is
Jeez.
that a real picture?
Yes.
Yes, that's a real picture. That's
Oh,
her.
God, those eyebrows. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Thank God.
Whatever
God
he
for
was
plastic
cooking,
surgery.
it wasn't finished yet.
He's got the money for the plastic surgery, so don't fret. It's gonna be
No,
okay.
he's not spending it.
She's too young. He's waiting for her to turn 30. No, but she's like in her early 20s or something like that.
Kind of right. You were kind of right about that one. Just shave off the hair and give it some other clothes, and
That's it.
you can
Just
blame me on
have her
that.
do the eyebrow thing, and you're good.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. See you next week. Same time, same rhyme. Stay beautiful.